This lesson introduces you to key concepts that will help you understand copyright law and how to use works safely and legally. Think about the times you use the internet. How often do you download or share images, videos, text, art, or music? How often is it a work that you created? Did you get permission to use it? Now think about a time someone copied your idea. How did that make you feel? Hopefully you've realized how easy it is to use someone else's work without giving them credit or asking their permission. Not only is this inconsiderate, it's against the law, and it may cause creators to lose money. So, how do we safely use works we find and respect their creators? To do so, we need to understand copyright, public domain, and fair use. Copyright laws protect creators' rights to their works. A copyright can also be held by a work's owner, producer, or distributor. If you want to use a copyrighted work, you must have permission, and you might have to pay a fee to use all or even part of the work. If you don't have permission, you could face lawsuits, fines, and criminal charges. The C in the circle in the bottom right-hand corner is a copyright symbol. Everything online is copyrighted unless stated otherwise. Even if you don't see a copyright symbol, that doesn't mean the work isn't copyrighted. Anything you might want to copy, paste, change, or share could be copyrighted, so you need permission to use it. If a work is in the public domain, it means anyone can use it however they want for free without the creator's permission. Works in the public domain either have never been copyrighted or their copyrights have expired, and you don't have to give credit when you use them. The C in the circle with a slash through it in the bottom right-hand corner is a public domain symbol. Just like the copyright symbol, an item can be in the public domain even if it lacks the symbol. So what's in the public domain? Some works are automatically in the public domain, such as government documents, or works to which the creator has given up their rights. Some works can't be copyrighted, like scenery. All works published before 1923 are in the public domain because they have expired copyrights. Orphan works are also in the public domain. These are works to which no one claims ownership, or it's extremely difficult to locate them for permission. Fair use allows you to use copyrighted works without permission in certain cases. Fair use is based on interpretation and depends on 4 factors: amount, purpose, nature, and effect. Amount means how much of the work is being used. Are you using the whole work or just a portion? Purpose means what the work is being used for. Are you using the work for commercial or non-profit purposes? That means, are you using the work to earn money or not? Nature means what the work was created for originally. Was it created for a general audience or for entertainment? Is it published or unpublished? Effective use means how your use will impact the creator's earnings. If you use this work, will it take away from the money they could be earning? You stand the best chance of fair use applying to your situation by following these guidelines. The less you use of the work, the better. Consider your audience. Works used for education, news reporting, criticizing or commenting, or comedy or parody are likely fair use. Works used to earn money are probably not. Use works of a general nature. This means the works were not created to entertain. Published nonfiction pieces are more likely to be considered fair use than unpublished fiction pieces. Finally, don't use a work if it'll impact the creator's earnings. This is why considering your audience is important too. Whether or not fair use applies to the work you want to use, give what credit you can. Saying, "I got it from Google," won't work. You need to give proper attribution, which is credit. Finally, it's important to remember that if you use a copyrighted work under fair use and the creator asks you to stop using it, You need to stop immediately. Say you want to scan pages of a book for your blog or convert an audio cassette to digital MP3s. Does the copyright still apply? The answer is yes. Copyright protects both the content and format of the work. In addition to protecting creators, copyright laws also help users because copyrights eventually expire. If the copyright isn't renewed, then the work moves to the public domain. Also, after the death of a creator, the works move to the public domain, but it takes several decades. How long it takes to move to the public domain depends on when the work was created and published. Special care is also needed for using works in the public domain. A work's public domain status can change. For example, if the work is copyrighted again, then copyright laws apply. Also, different forms of the same work may have different protections. For example, a Shakespearean play is in the public domain, but a movie version of the play is most likely copyrighted. It can be hard to remember a work's copyright status based on when the work was published or when the copyright will run out. Also, copyright laws can change, and different countries have different copyright laws. So how do you respect creators and use their work safely and legally? Let's sum up. Copyrighted works do require permission to use. Public domain works don't require permission to use. And fair use provides exceptions to the use of copyrighted works. So how do we respect copyright law? It's simple. Ask permission when needed and give credit. The best place to start is by using public domain search engines or your own works. This way you don't have to get permission or give attribution, which is when you give credit to the creator or owner. For example, all the images in this presentation were found using Pixabay.com. Each image has documentation on the side. This image says it's free for commercial use without attribution, meaning I can use it without giving credit. I can even use it if it helps me earn money. If you don't want to use public domain search engines, you need to look at the work to see if it's copyrighted or in the public domain. If it's in the public domain, you can use it. However, be careful to always verify the work's usability with its source. For example, let's say you want to use this image. Google Slides' image search function includes information about each image's source and usability. This image comes from Wikimedia Commons, and it's labeled for commercial use with modification, meaning it can be used and changed, right? Not yet. You still need to verify the work's original source to confirm its usability. When you look at this image's source, you can see it has a Creative Commons license, which is a type of copyright that allows free usage under certain circumstances. The documentation on the work source page says you can use and change this work, but you have to give credit, provide a link to the license, and say if changes were made. You would include this information directly under the image should you choose to use it. When you give credit, you should credit the work's title and author and include links to the source and license. The author information is missing from this image. Since I can't credit the author, I should not use this image. This image also has a Creative Commons license. It says I can use it for non-commercial uses if I credit the creator. So as long as I give attribution and don't earn any money from it, I can use it. Proper attribution looks like this. Links to the license, source, and author are included along with the title. Linking back to the source helps give credit. So we've addressed works in the public domain and Creative Commons and how to give proper attribution. If the work you want to use is copyrighted, you need permission to legally use it. You can do this by sending a written request to the distributor or publisher of the work. You might also contact the creator, but usually the distributor or publisher handles requests and collects fees for work usage. If they grant you permission, they give you license to use the work. Just make sure to give them proper attribution. Finally, you may still use a copyrighted work without permission by considering fair use exceptions. Remember this image from earlier? Even a screenshot of the image needs attribution, but none was listed because the author information was missing. So how could we still use this image? We can include it by considering fair use. Remember, amount, purpose, nature, and effect. Though we're using the whole image, we are using it for an educational presentation. The image was created for a general audience, and we know it's acceptable for commercial use, even though we're not trying to replace or change the creator's original design or earn money from its usage. Though we don't know who the author is or the title of the image, we can link to where we found it and link to its Creative Commons license. Remember, even if it's fair use, we have to give as much credit as we can. Hopefully this lesson helped you understand copyright law and how to use works safely and legally. Go forth with confidence and get ready to ask for permission and give credit.